Long ago, in a quiet village by an enchanted forest, a young woman named Lucy went to gather firewood. As she walked, she heard the soft cries of a baby. Following the sound, she came upon a glowing flower with silken petals. At its center was a baby with luminous skin, crying tears that turned into pearls as they fell. Awestruck, Lucy gently picked up the child and carried her home. When Lucy's parents saw the baby, they were uneasy. "This child is not ordinary," they warned. "She might bring bad luck." But Lucy refused to abandon her. "She's a blessing," she insisted. "We'll call her Pearl." Pearl grew up to be a kind, hard-working girl who brought joy to Lucy's family. She was no ordinary child. Her tears turned into pearls, and she ate only honey. To keep her safe, Lucy's family kept her secret, teaching her at home and shielding her from curious eyes. Years passed, and the family's small business collapsed, leaving them in deep poverty. Pearl, wanting to help, offered to cry pearls every day so they could sell them. At first, her family was grateful and used the pearls to rebuild their lives. But soon, greed consumed her parents. They started mistreating Pearl, yelling at her and locking her in a small room to make her cry more. They even stopped Lucy from spending time with her. Pearl's tears filled 10 sacks with pearls, but her parents wanted more. Lucy begged them to stop, but they ignored her pleas. The villagers, noticing the family's newfound wealth, began whispering about Pearl's secret. One night, unable to bear her sister's suffering, Lucy stole the key to Pearl's room and freed her. "Run, Pearl," Lucy said with tears in her eyes. "Go far away where they can't hurt you anymore." Pearl fled deep into the forest, crying as she ran. Her tears created a shimmering trail of pearls, and eventually she collapsed near a glowing lake. As her tears fell, the water began to glow, and a majestic woman emerged. She was the Pearl Queen, and a voice that echoed with power. "You are one of us," the Queen said gently. "You were born from the sacred flower, meant to bring light and love to the world, but the greed of humans has harmed you. It is time to come home." Pearl hesitated, thinking of Lucy. "But what about my sister?" she asked. "You can return to her when the time is right," the Queen assured her. "For now, come to the Pearl City where you belong." Back in the village, Pearl's parents believed she had been kidnapped. They organized a search party but found no trace of her. Instead of mourning, they celebrated. "At least we still have the pearls she left behind," they said, counting their sacks of riches. 5 days later, Pearl returned. She was no longer the timid girl they had known. Her presence was radiant and powerful, her dress shimmered like moonlight, and her hair glistened like threads of silver. She walked straight into the house, where her parents were admiring their pearls. "You betrayed me," she said, her voice calm but filled with authority. "You used my tears for your greed and caused me pain. Now, you will face the consequences." With a wave of her hand, the sacks of pearls turned into piles of black coal. Her parents screamed as their hair fell out, leaving them permanently bald. "This is your punishment," Pearl said. "You will live the rest of your lives without beauty, wealth, or respect." Turning to Lucy, Pearl's expression softened. She handed her a small clay pot. "This is for you," she said. "It will give you pearls, but only when you laugh. You deserve joy, not sadness." Lucy hugged Pearl tightly, tears of gratitude in her eyes. "Will I see you again?" she asked. Pearl smiled. "I will visit often. You are my true family, and I will never forget your kindness." With that, Pearl returned to the Pearl City, where she ruled with grace and wisdom. The villagers learned to value kindness over greed, and Lucy lived a happy life filled with laughter, always cherishing the magical sister who had taught her the true meaning of love.